Hi, I'm George with NS345. Welcome back to the Gain Staging Masterclass. Today I want to talk about something that has really helped my mixes. What I'm about to share with you took me a while to learn. I did not learn it overnight. And one of the reasons why I didn't learn it overnight was because I couldn't visualize it and I couldn't understand it. So I remember when I started mixing, there was a time where all of my faders were pushed up to the top and the input levels were in the red. And I actually mixed some songs like that. My master bus, my master channel was really clipping and there was no audible distortion, but I was really having to push up the faders. And I used to reach out to friends to see what was one thing that I could do to fix that. And a lot of my friends would just say, hey, why don't you just lower the faders, bring them down. The problem with that was that my track was no longer loud, or my song was no longer loud. So I was really confused by that. So one of the things I learned over time by talking to different audio engineers or mixing live or mixing myself at home was to depend a lot more on the actual attenuation of the speakers and of my interface. On our interfaces, we all have the knob or the pot that turns it up or down to allow us to hear a certain level of audio signal coming through. Our speakers also have gain knobs in the back that we can turn. So for example, if your speaker is maxed out all the way to the right, that means that that's the loudest. What that does then is when you go to your interface or your monitor control, you turn the volume knob and you only have to turn it up a little bit because now the speaker is already super loud. So when you turn it up a little bit, then you hear a lot coming out. Now, by doing this, you can really damage your speakers. So you have to be careful. So one of the things that I did, and one of the things that I actually do now is my speakers are actually only at 50%. So the pot on the back of the speakers, it's only to 50%. When I hit that 50%, it clicks there and it stays there. Or if it doesn't have where the actual pot actually clicks when it hits 50%, you can just, I would just eyeball it and keep it at 50%. What that did then is it gave me a certain amount of volume to work with. Now when I go to my pot on my interface, when I go to the gain volume pot on my interface, I only have to bring it up to 50%. In the past, when I was mixing, I would almost like ignore the volume knob on my interface and on the speakers and try to get all the volume to come out by raising my faders. Well, that was wrong. So what I do now is I set my speakers at 50%, set my interface at 50%, and I then check my mixes at about 25%, 50%, and 75% volume on the interface. Now, when the song that I'm mixing feels too low, instead of raising the faders, I raise the volume knob on the interface. Now that has no effect on the sound, but it does affect what I'm hearing. So if there's a tip I could share with you today is that make sure that you take advantage of your speaker's volume and the volume knob on your interface. And I think that's gonna make a huge difference in your mixes. And don't worry about what's coming out of the song just yet. Try to get the volume to where it's loud enough coming out of your speakers so that you don't try and push up your fader so much or your input gain so much. Okay, so I hope that helps a little bit. And again, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and share with your friends. Let me know what you think. Have a great day.